Welcome aboard, sailors. Today, we're going to go over our embedded assessment. And we're going to go in detail about what exactly it is we're going to accomplish in the first unit of the school year. So remember, the embedded assessment is the big, huge assignment that we're building to. So everything we do this unit is building towards this Unit 1 embedded assessment that you can read with us right here. So think about all the heroes you have encountered in fiction and in real life. What type of a hero appeals to you? Write and create a research narrative about an original hero. Use the hero's journey archetype to develop and structure your ideas. So the big goal of this whole unit that we're getting you to is getting ready to write a research narrative that uses the hero's journey to write a fully featured story. And in this fully featured story, you are going to address and demonstrate your skills in all of these standards listed right here under the standards anchor assignments. You're going to have a chance to show us all of your skills on all these different anchor assignments. We'll get into more detail on what that means if you don't remember right away. But first, we need to look at a rubric together. So this is the Springboard Unit 1 rubric.
We are going to focus on proficient, which is 3. So for 8.3a, character development, we want you guys to create an original protagonist.
You also need to demonstrate mastery or proficiency in point of view by establishing a point of view, setting, and conflict.
As for 8.3b, we want you guys in dialogue and description, we want you guys to use adequate details, dialogue, imagery, and description.
Next is our exposition, and your exposition needs to orient the reader with adequate exposition.
For the plot structure, we want to see sequences, events in the plot logically, including some steps of the hero's journey archetype.
We're going to use transitional words, phrases, and clauses to link your events and your signal shifts in the story. So you're going to make sure you use transitions.
All right, so the resolution, we want you guys to provide a logical resolution.
And last but not least for writing are the conventions of English, which means that you need to demonstrate adequate command of the conventions of standard English. In other words, some mistakes are okay, but you've got to make sure that you have a pretty clean piece of writing.
Now, as far as reading goes, we want you guys to provide evidence for inferences. So cite those textual evidence that supports analysis of text using inferences from the text.
Next is our theme analysis. So you need to be able to determine the theme of a text and analyze it.
And then last but not least, action and reaction. We want you guys to weekly analyze dialogue or incidents that propel the action, reveal aspects of a character, or provoke a decision.
So overall, that's a lot of information that we went through detail by detail, but what we want you to really understand that's important is all of these are one of the skills that make up our skills-based grading, okay? So everything we just listed was a 3, a proficient. You could push further into mastery and get that 4 on any of these skills, or if you're struggling, you might see a 2 or a 1. You will not see a 0 rating for any of your skills unless you just don't give us work. So really quick to remind you how that influences your grades.
So the anchor assignments, guys, the chances to this is a time for you to demonstrate your skills. This is graded. One thing you guys need to be aware is that the anchor assignments will demonstrate the skills that go into the grade book, and this influences your grade. The skills graded using one section of the unit's rubric. So once again, if it's going to establish a clear point of view, setting, and conflict, that will be considered a 4. If it establishes a point of view, setting, and conflict, but not clear, it's going to be a 3. Remember, you're going to see this, and the narrative writing prompt is what you're going to look to do.
So overall, what we want you to understand is with those anchor assignments, we're going to grade each anchor using just one section of the rubric at a time. Okay, so when we do a character development one, it'll just be this section of the rubric. Eventually, we'll do a plot structure assignment, and that plot structure assignment will use just this one section. But when we're doing the embedded assessment, which again, remember, is that hero's journey research narrative that we talked about right here. That's the huge project, and that huge project will be all of it all together. So Keep that in mind as we go forward. Make sure your anchor assignments give you a chance to demonstrate your skills one at a time, and be ready by the end of this unit to demonstrate all of your skills together. Excited to get to work, sailors!